Hey everyone, so while we're on this hair loss journey, it's really important to talk about some of the key nutrients that our hair needs to thrive. So 3 of them that I'll talk about just really briefly, and then I want to transition into talking about some metals again so that we can understand how they all interact with one another. So some key components like magnesium, zinc, and even copper are necessary for tissue repair, for hair growth, for the follicle in order for it to get more oxygen that it needs in order for the hair to grow. So those are really important components we want to make sure we have enough of in order for our hair to grow healthy and strong. So some other elements that are also talked about when it comes to hair health is iron. So iron deficiency has been seen in many individuals that have hair loss or hair thinning, but we've also seen too much iron that's contributed to hair loss and hair thinning. Or maybe it's creating an environment where there's more opportunity for things to shift in the body that will cause that hair loss and thinning. So the 2 metals that we're going to talk about that will contribute to that story around iron is lead and cadmium. So lead is present everywhere. It's present in our piping, it's present in paint, not so much here in Canada because it is more regulated when it comes to household paints and whatnot. But if we're getting things imported, there's not a lot of regulation there. In our cosmetics, again, not another industry that isn't regulated when it comes to the amount of lead that's in it. That's also going to influence how much is going into our tissue. There's been studies done around the schools, especially in our area, and they've seen higher amounts of lead that should be there in the water fountains. The half-life of lead in our system is 27 years. And what it does, it attaches to the heme, so it attaches to the blood flow, and what it does, it then gets distributed throughout the body into our tissues, and it's stuck there for 27 years, so that's a long time. When that's stuck there, what it's doing is starting to compete with other minerals like iron. It's competing with iron absorption in our gut. So if we have enough iron, we can displace the lead a little bit better because there's this transport protein called DMI1 that will transport iron within the system. But if its little pockets are empty, it'll latch onto lead because it has an affinity for it, and it'll disperse the lead everywhere, and now there's no room for the iron to come on. So there's been like different studies done where they saw that iron uptake, so whether it's through your food or supplementation, has been able to displace the lead, but not as much as we would like it to, in combination with like iron and vitamin C, because it does help its absorption. The other component that we want to talk about is cadmium and how prevalent it is in our environment, in our air, in our water, and it's also just something that a lot of individuals are exposed to through their occupation. And so that combination of cadmium and lead has continuously been shown to decrease our hair's ability to grow. It keeps it stuck in that telogen phase that we talked about before, which is more of that resting phase. I know it sounds complicated when it comes to our health and hair health, but really, if we start to understand what's happening in that cellular level, what's happening at those receptors, because those minerals and trace elements that we need to bind onto those receptors. But if there are elements like lead and cadmium and mercury, like we talked about before, stopping their absorption, that's where it makes it even more challenging for our hair to receive the nutrients that it needs. So if you want to find out if you have some toxicity when it comes to lead and other components from the environment, send me a DM or put your name down, send me a message, write a note in the comments so that we can connect you and send you a toxic questionnaire. And from there, you can do a discovery call with our team so you can kind of better understand this connection between hair loss, hair thinning, and toxicity.